Hi everyone. Today the Middo Foundation are promoting Neighbour Day because community matters. Did you know that when people lose their sight, get a mitochondrial disease or any other rare or chronic condition, one of the impacts is not only a loss of independence, but a loss of their community, their tribe, so to speak. It can be very isolating and for some people, plain lonely. When I first lost my sight back in 2022, most of my friends were still working. I was no longer going to work, so my whole life changed. And the majority of the time, the only reason I really left the house was to go to medical appointments. It was stressful, it was not fun, and I did not have community connection. One of the things that changed after approximately 12 months was I was very lucky that the guide dogs actually gave me some referrals from an advisory officer who didn't charge anything but just gave me some links and a phone call now and again to see if I was okay. One of those links was Beyond Blindness. They not only helped me join, in South Australia we're very lucky to have Beyond Blindness, and they organised for someone to come and pick me up from my house on a Tuesday, go to the southern office and participate on a Tuesday with the groups. So on one Tuesday it might be a social group, the second Tuesday was craft, and the third Tuesday was usually a bus trip going somewhere out for lunch. It might seem like something small, but it made a massive difference to my life. The other thing that happened that was really big for me was the Neighbour Foundation advertised for people to join their My Stories Project advisory group. I'd worked for over 25 years for the state government and I'd done a lot of advocating for other people. This was a huge opportunity and was not something I was even confident that I could do at that stage, as my confidence had really dropped. However, I decided to give it a go, and with the help of a support worker, I told her what to write and she did the typing and we completed an application. The Neighbour Foundation have been absolutely brilliant, interviewing over the phone, making things accessible for me, and I was lucky enough to be selected to join the advisory group. This has given me so many outlets where I've been able to not only have community, but to advocate for both myself and others and meet other people in the mitochondrial community. Something else I've done since losing my sight is last year I joined the blind tennis community. When I'm on the tennis court, I am just Melissa. I'm a normal person who can miss the ball, sometimes hit the ball, and there is a fantastic group of blind tennis players in Adelaide and other states who come over and play games. If I'm not doing so well, some of them will just say, just slow down, you've got this. They're so encouraging, and even some of the younger ones who have grown up with low vision are very encouraging and helpful and telling you how to do things. Word of mouth and using other people's expertise that they've taught themselves makes such a difference. I was also lucky enough when the guide dogs made contact back in 2023, they invited me along to an empowered living program. This was held on Wednesday afternoons, and it was more the social connection that I got out of it rather than just the learning. Each week they had a different topic, and I did learn some really good things about talking accessible tools such as talking scales, talking thermometers. There's a little device that you can put on your cup of tea that makes a noise when it's getting too full, which is great if you can find the cup, by the way. But every fortnight they have a happy hour. No alcohol involved, but they organise a different topic each week, and we've done things such as go for a tour of the State Library, or we've got together and played with clay, or we've listened to someone else's story. We've had a physio come along, and it's just a really great way to meet other people in the blind community, and support workers come along, and we just get to be normal for a while. You might be sitting there thinking, oh, but I'm not blind, how can I connect with you? You don't need to be blind. A really good example is one of my neighbours would always say, "Hi, it's Sarah from number 4," whenever I would go past her. Others will call out and say, "Hi, how are you going?" and say the name. If I'm at the shops and someone can see me waving around like I was once at the Coles deli section, the staff member had put my packaged meat on the deli counter and I could not find the packages. A lovely lady came over, took them off the counter for me, put them in the trolley and let me know that she had done that and introduced herself. That 2 minutes of connection, if that, was very short, but it said that I was seen. I was still a person. And sometimes all we need is to be seen. It makes such a difference. So if you're out and about, or if you've got a friend who's had their whole life changed because of a chronic disease or an illness and you're not quite sure what to do, why not pick up the phone and give them a call? I'm really lucky to have a few really good friends that even when they ring and they say I'm fine, they might still turn up at my house because they don't necessarily believe that I'm fine. And they're just coming to check in and just to have a chat. Or they might pick me up and take me to a movie. Or in the case of one friend, they picked me up and they took me to the beach. And we strolled. We smelt the ocean. You could hear the ocean. The descriptions are so important, but that connection, that can be life-changing for someone who has had their life changed. Don't be afraid to say hi to someone who's been through a lot of change. Don't be afraid to introduce yourself. Ask if they need anything. Ask how they're doing. Can you help them? How's your day going? Would you like to go to a movie? Would you like to go to the shops? Would you like a coffee? It doesn't have to be big. Just start with hello. Hope everyone's having a great day and enjoy your Neighbour Day today.